Hey everyone, so I am starting Audrey's Easter dress and I thought it'd be fun to take y'all along and show you how I break something down. So the first thing is to get a pattern that is going to be similar to the cut of the dress that you're trying to do. So the dress that I'm doing, it has lace on the shoulders, and then it's got a row of lace. I'm like, look at myself in the viewfinder. It's got a row of lace over here, and then it's got a band of fabric that has some embroidery work on it. So I am going to base this off of a bodice pattern. Any bodice pattern will work. Pick one that you have. You know, if you already have one that you like, there's no sense in buying another one. So I've picked one that I've used in the past and that I liked, and I'm going to go from there. I'm going to pull out the front sheet of it and then sort of get the proportions of how much lace, like where I want the lace straps to start, where I want that horizontal band to start, how much of the fabric band, how wide I want that to be. You get the drift. You just kind of get your proportions that way. The other thing about this, and this is like, I love this sort of stuff, is the embroidery work. You can put some embroidery work on that front band of it. That's okay. Daisy's playing with the Tupperware. So I love that sort of stuff. I'm going to have to design, not have to design, I'm going to get to design an embroidery piece for this. And that will take some thought. When it comes to diving into something new that haven't constructed before, I'm like, oh, I just dive in. It's fine. I can piece the puzzles together. It's kind of like a little bit of a game of chess. But when it comes to designing embroidery work, I'm like, ooh, I could do this or that or whatever. It's like life decisions. So, there we are. So I've got Henry in the background and Daisy's down for her nap, which is why you can hear the sound machine. I've finished my embroidery motif, and I am going to try to apply Madeira applique, like by hand embroidery. I have tried this in the past, and I haven't been successful yet, so we'll see. So I've gotten the Madeira applique done. It is by no means perfect. I'm still trying to figure out this technique, but it's good enough. I'm going to just like move on with life. And I am now deciding, I've got two different braids. There's a baby lily of the valley and there's a lily of the valley. And the baby one is like just a lighter version of the colors. And the lily of the valley is more true to how the actual plant, please do not pull my earring, how the actual plant looks, and I'm highly debating on which one to use. I think I'm going to lean towards the baby of the valley, the lighter colors, because of Easter, and I've got the lighter pink that's going to be on this dress and a lot of yellow, so I think it'll all go together better that way. Yeah, I think so. Alright, so I've gotten my insertion done. Like all the embroidery work and then the beading on either side of it. So the beading, there's this, what can happen with the beading is that your seam can flip up and hide the holes in your beading, and that's not ideal because the holes are so pretty, you don't want them to cover it up. So way back when I used to do videos and like, blah, 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 blah. What am I trying to say? Way back when I used to just do a line down that seam, and you can absolutely do that. Lots and lots of people do that. I've got videos ages old showing how to do that. But another thing you can do, and this doesn't quite have the stitches on top as much, is you can just like hand tack along that seam as you go. And that's a little bit, in my opinion, a little bit more of an elegant solution because, like I said, you don't have all that line of stitches down them. But it's sewing, you do you, no right or wrong here. Anywho, so once you have your insertion done, you can see how that's going to fit right there on my bodice. And then I am now going to piece together lace. And I am trying to remember if I am going to do sleeves on this dress or not. think I am. But it's early morning and I can't remember if that's what I want to do or not. And I'm like, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Do I want sleeves? Do I not want sleeves? Life decisions, right? Anywho, but I know I want to do the lace like above, in this area right here. So I'm gonna do that next. So I've gotten to this point where basically my whole yoke area is complete. I've got to put a little bit of lace around the top, and I need to dig into my stash for a smaller lace. But so I'm just going to move on to attaching the skirt, and this is a concept that you can apply whether you're doing like a little fabric insert like I have or not. Maybe you're just doing like the lace on around the shoulders, and then you're attaching your skirt. So either way, this will work. It's a concept, like I'm saying. So what you're going to do is I am going to align that shoulder seam, like where my entredot is, to that template I've been using this whole time. And then that's going to allow me to cut out the arm's eye. Now, I am just going to cut out the arm's eye and I'm going to kind of flow it into the lace. I am not going to be cutting the lace. The lace has a finished edge. It's, anywhere from 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch overhang. Not a big deal. Even a 1/4 inch is not a big deal. For sizing for little ones is so forgiving. So, don't worry about that. And yeah, cut right into it. It's like such an exciting part because you can kind of just go about finishing the rest of the dress at this point. Don't mind my hair. It's in its natural Medusa state. So I've been wondering how I'm going to finish up this back, and I left some extra fabric there just to have like options to play around with. And I thought that with the idea that one of the things I could do is like just fold the fabric once and then twice back on itself, and then have that folded edge on the back of the garment to round her off. And I could do the same with the lace on top, and then I have the finished edge of the lace insertion. And then I thought, it's interesting because I've done a number of these dresses before, but I've done just enough to be like dangerous. And even so, I do a lot of things like in the moment, and then I forget how I put it together because I have to have it in front of me, and it it just kind of comes to me. And then I move on to the next garment, right? And I've done a number of these in the past, but like I said, just enough to be dangerous. And so I was trying to remember how I did those, and I could not remember for the life of me. And then I thought organdy would be fabulous because organdy, it's made out of cotton, it's super stiff, it kind of acts as a stabilizer, and then it's like pretty much see-through, so it won't like disrupt the lace. So I thought organdy would be a wonderful choice. Okay, Medusa back. So I am at the point where if I'm gonna put sleeves on, I need to do it now. And I'm like, for the life of me, I cannot decide if I want to put sleeves on this dress, what kind of sleeves, if it should be fabric sleeves, it should be lace sleeves, maybe a combination of the two, if I should just put a little bit of a lace edging on it and call it done and just not have sleeves. But that is what I'm going to do next. I could do the side seams. I could, sew the side seams of the skirt together and then put in the sleeve. But in this case, I want to do the sleeves first and then the side seams. It's sewing me to you. There's no right or wrong. It's just what I feel like doing in this instance. So I actually, since I cannot decide, I went onto the Instagrams and I asked all my friends, and we will see what the people say.
I am so excited with how this dress turned out. I think it's super sweet for Easter and just heirloom sewing in general. I think heirloom sewing, particularly in the springtime, it just shines. I have other heirloom videos over here and I have other sewing videos down here, so go check them out. If you have any questions, of course, put them down in the comments below and I will do my best to answer them. And as always, I appreciate y'all for watching and I hope to catch y'all next time.